Hello everyone, I am Sushila Tipshetty, lecturer at KLS Kokte College of Commerce, Belgavi. So welcome to today's class. In the yesterday's video we had seen about the problems of tabulation. So today in this class we'll begin with a new topic, that is frequency distribution. So once you collect the data will be in the raw format. So it cannot be easily understood. Here in that raw data there will be no order maintained, or it will not be according to the required format. So we have to sort such data. So sorting the data according to ascending or descending order is known as array. So if the data is large, it is impractical to arrange the data in an array. So in such situation we go for grouping of the data. So after arranging the data in an array, the first step should be to reduce the size of the number of values the variables is repeated. So we had seen the definition of variable, that is a quantitative characteristic which varies from unit to unit is known as variable. In some cases the variables will be repeated. So we have to group those repeated values to reduce the size of the data. So a number of times an item is repeated is known as frequency. A systematic representation of values taken by a variable and the corresponding frequency is called as frequency distribution of that variable. So we are representing the values that the variable takes along with the frequency. Though here frequency is how many times a value is repeated. So when you systematically represent, it is known as frequency distribution. And a tabular representation of a frequency distribution is called as frequency table. So there are two types of distribution. The first one is discrete frequency distribution and the second one is continuous frequency distribution. So discrete frequency distribution, in a frequency distribution, if a variable considers specific value along with the corresponding frequencies, then it is called as discrete frequency distribution. So for example, x, here x you can take as number of children and f is number of couples. Here x is 0, 1, 2, 3 and f is 17, 10, 23. How we are going to interpret this table is, there are 17 couples who have 0 child, that is they have no child, and there are 10 couples who have single child. Similarly, there are 20 couples who have 2 childs, and there are 3 couples who have 3 child. So instead of naming each and every couple and saying that okay, they are having they are having 1 child or 2 child, it will be very huge data. So we are trying to reduce it and we are using frequency for this. So in a frequency distribution, if a variable assumes all the values between two class limit is called as continuous frequency distribution. So we'll see what you mean by class limit, class intervals and all. For time being, here the class interval is 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15 and 15 to 20. The frequency is 5, 10, 12 and 8. So here you can take f as number of students, and you can take class intervals as the marks obtained for in internals. So you can interpret it as there were 5 students who have scored between the marks 0 and 5, and there are 8 students who have scored their marks as 15 to 20 in that interval. So these are the examples of continuous frequency distribution. So now let's see some definitions that are used in frequency distribution. The first one is class intervals. The range of the variable can be divided into sub-stages or subgroups, which is known as class intervals. So as you can see in the previous example, we have divided the marks as 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15 and 15 to 20. So you are dividing a given range. So that is known as class intervals. So it is denoted as CI. Each class interval is specified by two limits which are called as class limits. They are the lower limit and the upper limit. So here in the example 0 to 5, 0 is the lower limit and 5 is the upper limit. So class interval consists of all the numbers between lower limit and the upper limit. This means that, so for the class interval 0 to 5, it includes all the variables, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. So in that interval all these numbers are included. So the next definition is class frequency. That is, number of observations corresponding to a particular class is called as class frequency. So how many observations are there in that class interval is known as class frequency. So the width of the class is the difference between the lower and the upper limit is called as width or size of the class interval. So the midpoint or class mark is the actually average of a class interval. That is, it is calculated with the formula lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. So it is a midpoint of the class interval. So the next definition is, in a frequency distribution, the number of observation with value less than a given value is less than cumulative frequency corresponding to the first class. So similarly, the number of observations with value more than a given value is known as more than cumulative frequency corresponding to that value. So about this I'll be telling you when we are solving the problems. So how to calculate less than cumulative frequency and more than cumulative frequency, because later when you all be calculating median and all, so we have to use less than cumulative frequency. So we'll see it when we are solving the problems. So the next definition is, for a class interval in a grouped frequency distribution. So here grouped frequency distribution means continuous frequency distribution. It is also known as grouped frequency distribution, and discrete frequency distribution is known as ungrouped frequency distribution. So in grouped frequency distribution, let small f be the frequency and w denote the width. Then the formula for frequency density is, that is d equal to f divided by w. That is frequency, the ratio of frequency to the width is known as frequency density of observations in the class interval. So the next definition is relative frequency. So again let f be the class frequency and capital N be the total frequency. Then the relative frequency is given as the ratio of frequency to the total frequency. So the next definition is, in a frequency distribution, the class intervals may be inclusive or exclusive. So if a class interval is such that the lower as well as the upper class limits are included in the same class interval, it is known as inclusive class interval. So in a class interval, it is such that the lower limit is included in the same class interval, whereas the upper class limit is included in the succeeding class interval, then it is known as exclusive class interval. So here in this example for the class intervals 0 to 5, 5 to 10, so you can see that this is an exclusive class interval, because in the first interval, that is 0 to 5, we are not considering 5 but in that class, but we are considering 5 as lower limit in the succeeding, that is the next class interval, that is 5 to 10. So this is an exclusive type of interval. So let's see examples. The class intervals 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30 years are exclusive type. So had we have seen here 0 to 10 is the first interval, the second interval is 10 to 20. So 10 is taken as the lower limit of the next class. Similarly, 20 is not considered in the class interval 10 to 20, but 20 is nothing but the lower class limit of the next class interval. So in the next example, the class intervals are 0 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29, then 30 to 39, etc. So these are inclusive. You can see in the first interval, the lower limit is 0 and the upper limit is 9. But in the next interval, the lower limit is 10. Here it is not 9. So this means 9 is included in the first interval itself, that is in 0 to 9. So the lower limit of the first class and the upper limit of the first class and the lower limit of the succeeding class are not same. So in such cases, such type of class intervals are known as inclusive type. So sometimes in a frequency distribution, the class intervals at extremities may not have one of the limits. Such class intervals are called as open-end class intervals. That is, when you have certain type of data where either the lower limit of the first class or the upper limit of the last class will be missing. So such type of class intervals are known as open-end class intervals. For example, the age above 10 years or the income below 1000 rupees are all open-end class intervals. So here you are considering age above 10 years. So we have no idea up to what age you have to stop taking. You have to stop. So this is an open-end class intervals. So in the next class we will be solving about the problems related to frequency distribution. So that's it for today's class. Thank you.